Hello and welcome to Green Hill Garage. In today's video, we're going to be working on our 1994 Chevrolet S10. As you saw in the last video, we got it running, so that was a big deal. What else did we get done? So I got it running a little better recently. I figured out that we needed the distributor, needed timed, and so I bought a timing light. And I hadn't really done anything with timing light before, and so that was probably our biggest issue as to why it wasn't running all that great. We got rid of all the misfire. It's running great now, but we have this really bad squeak. So I dug around, and from what I could tell, these two pulleys are the source. I tried oiling them, but as you can see, they're an internal bearing, so that was futile. So yeah, gonna have to get a new set of bearings or a new set of pulleys from O'Reilly's or Napa. So that's about as far as we've made it on this project since the last video. It's January now, so quite a while. But now we're here, and what we're going to focus on today is actually the key switch. Because this key switch, let me flip you guys around. This key switch here is got no key, and it just turns on. And that is originally why there was a theft lock system in this. And I took the theft lock out and rewired it to original factory setting. But I could not figure out why there was a theft lock until I realized that you could turn this on without a key. So today, I bought us a brand new cylinder. We're going to be putting in a brand new key and lock setup. So that's going to begin pulling off the horn cover, pulling off the steering wheel, and I think we'll even have to pull the dash, but I'm not certain. But the first part is pretty easy. Just pull this. There's one wire here for the horn. Just disconnect that. It'll be good there. Next, we're going to go up and unplug the battery because there's all sorts of connections here. Last thing we want is our positive to ground. So I'll go up there and disconnect the battery. So as you can see, I've now disconnected power. We can turn the key on. Nothing lights up, so we're good there. So next step is pull the steering wheel. Now there's this little cotter pin here, or well, not really a cotter. It's more like a lock pin, but we'll just pop that out and then we'll pull that. And you can see there's a bolt hole here and a bolt hole over here. Now what we're going to be able to do is get a pulley puller, just hook two bolts there, and should be able to just lift this off. So I'll get my puller out. We'll begin by pulling the bolt or the nut off, and we'll see if we can get it off. So now I've got my bolt off. It was really easy with the impact gun. Just got it on there, buzz it off. I've also got a assistant today, an unwelcome assistant, but can't really keep her out if I want to keep the door open. So now I'll go grab the puller and we'll see if we can't get this off. Okay guys, so I got it popped. Basically what I did is I took my pulley harmonic balancer tool, because I don't have a steering wheel puller, but I just went ahead, strapped two of these bolts on, and it just popped right free. So now that's free, we can just unscrew these. So I'll unscrew all this and then we'll pull the steering wheel off. So the next step is we're going to take this little plug here. It's got a little tab, just comes right out. Pull that out there. What we got to do now is I got to find something to compress this, and we're going to pull this little wire ring here. As you can see, I got my filthy cat with me. Filthy little cat. So we're going to find something to compress this, and then we got to pop that wire ring, and this should come out. So I'll get to that next, and we'll see how it goes. So now I got that little snap ring off. I just went ahead and compressed this with the clamp, and that was all I needed to get it off. It's going to be a pain in the butt to get back on, I can already tell. Ideally you have one of those clamps where you could bolt onto here and then just push down, but I don't have one of those, so we're making do with what we have. Now we have a spring cage holding this. Now we've got to get to the spring cage back here, and it's got, I think, 2 or 3 screws. I think it's 3 screws holding it. They're those little Torx screws. So I'll go find the right size Torx bit and we'll see if we can't get those off. Okay guys, so all it was actually just these 2 screws here. They're a set of T15s Torx bits, and there's one threaded right in here and one threaded right here. So I pulled this whole assembly all together. I'm going to try not to spin it or get it all confused because I don't know if that affects anything, but we'll try to keep it all together all in one piece. Just set it over there. So now we have, looks like, a lot better access to our key switch, which is in here. This little piece just up and fell out now, so that's real helpful. But there's a new one on the new key switch, so that won't be too big of a problem. So we'll see. What I believe there's a pin, but I'll take a quick look and see what else we need to pull to get the master cylinder out. Okay guys, so now we got our 3 screws out, and also this retainer screw. The little retainer right here. This is basically all for the turn signal. So now the turn signal turns freely without it binding. So now we're just gonna pull this guy. See if I can do this one-handed. Lift him up out of the way, and then this little guy right down here has got to come out. So I'm gonna have to set you guys down to pull it, but it should just pop right out. Okay guys, so I got this pulled. This all turned out to be fine, so I'm just gonna clean it up and we'll be able to reuse it. Basically, in order for it to pull out, let me show you guys. It was sitting like this in here, and what I ended up doing was just pushing down on it and coming out. So let's see if I can get that. See how it's on a spring, so if you push it down, that'll flatten that spring out, and then you can pull out. So hopefully that tip helps you. Then I got the lock pin out. It's a, I think it's a T20, so pulled that out. So now, with any sort of luck, our cylinder here should come out. So let's see if I can. There we go. Look at that, guys, we got it out. So I'll go ahead, I'll throw the new one in, and we'll start reassembly. Alright guys, so now I've got our new switch, and what I can tell is that this thing turns over with the key, and then pull the key out, and then it doesn't. And then this other one, let's see where I set it, right here. You can take it and just spin it, and it's not locking. So this was definitely the problem. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw our new one in. It's pretty easy. All you're gonna do is take the plastic tab. You'll see there's a groove right down here. We're gonna take that, line up our groove. Just go ahead and push that in. Once that's all the way in, we can see that it's seated at the bottom. So yeah, that works nice. So now it's just the process of reassembly. The next step, I'm going to put that lock screw back in and put in our turn signal indicator piece. So now we got our cylinder in, we got our little turn signal indicator and our lock pin in. So now I'll just check the fit and function of the key. As you can see, it all turns nicely. Turn it out, it locks up, won't go anywhere. So that was definitely a success. So now we're just going to begin the process of putting everything back together. This will go back in its place, right in there, and then we'll put in the 3 screws and our retainer, and then check and be sure our turn signal works. So I'll get those screws in real quick, and I'll see you guys then. Okay, so we got our 3 screws in, and now the next step is to get in this little retainer, or this turn signal pin. So it just fits back here. There's a little cam gear, or a little cam I should say, and this thing rolls in that cam. So this is just gonna fit in there, stuff it in there, and the way to check it to be sure it's connected, this doesn't move. So since we can see that it moves and it's tied together, we can take our screw. Let me see if I can get this stuffed in here one-handed, which I can. So then we'll take that, just go ahead and tighten it down. Tighten that down nice and tight, but not too tight because it's plastic. And then we can check operation. And what we're looking at is that spring there. which it's a little stiff, so I may try to put a little lube on it other than that nasty old grease that's on there. But now we can see that everything works, so we're good to go from here. Okay guys, so the next step, we put our spring back in. We got this little plastic piece is going to go on top of that, and then our next section, which is this metal section here, is going to go on, and hopefully we can get this all to align, unless I have something mistaken, but I don't think I do. Okay, so the way this is going to go on, I'm going to take our metal piece and loop it over through that hole there. And then let's see, we've got our 2 screws. 1 screw's there. I believe we only have 2 screws holding the whole operation down, so that's good. I'm very sorry guys, but I'm going to need 2 hands, so I'll put this on and get back to you. Alrighty guys, so got those screws in. We'll put just 2 in there, those on the outside ring. And then the next step is to get that little wire ring in, which is going to be a pain in the butt, considering I don't have a proper tool to actually squeeze it down. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is just getting one edge on and working it kind of around, which is going to be kind of a fight. So I'm going to do that off camera because I don't have 2 hands. I don't have a stand for my phone. So I'll get that in, guys, and we'll see what else there is to do, which shouldn't be much. So now guys, we got that little pin in. I'm going to go ahead, plug in this little horn switch, which we're just pushing in. Just clips in like so. Now we're ready for our steering wheel. Get the steering wheel up here. Try to think. Okay, that'll fit through there. We'll loop it up. That cord will focus with me. There we go. So now we're just going to get that aligned and use that little plastic dowel as our alignment. And that should get us very close. In fact, I think that's perfect. So now that we're on there, in hindsight, I should have marked it, but it looks like actually, let's see if I can zoom in, there is a mark right here and a mark right there. And what that'll do, that'll tell us that we're on the line, because there's very fine threads or very fine teeth on this gear. So it could be very easy to get a tooth off and be slightly off on your alignment. The good news is it looks like there was a mark, but if yours does not have a mark, I would recommend that you either paint it or something like that. So now that we're on there, I'll get the bolt down and we'll tighten this sucker down. Alright guys, so we got torque down. I use a torque wrench, get 60 foot-pounds. I'm not quite sure as the factory spec what they should be, but I got it tight, and then basically use the bolt to just pull it in until I felt resistance. And then once I felt a good solid resistance, like it had bottomed out, then I got the torque wrench out. We went to 60 foot-pounds because this looks like a pretty solid bolt. So now we're just going to slip on our little retainer, which I'm going to need 2 hands for, and then we'll be ready to put the horn on. And go. Alright guys, so now the final step. We could stand to clean the corrosion off there. I'll grab, looks like this kind of rusted out. So I'll grab a little bit of Scotch-Brite and some WD-40 and we'll clean this off. But basically what you're going to do once it's clean, you're just going to plug this guy in here. You'll see you got 3 tabs. Get your bottom tabs lined up around the sides. Got one in there. 2 big bottom ones will decide most of your way there, and then you just kind of feel for the top. Just press it in, and then once we plug it in, we'll be able to see if our horn works, but it should. So that's how that's going to be. I'll pull that real quick again, clean off that terminal, because I think that was why our horn was a little iffy. And then yeah, that's the whole project, guys. So I'll clean that up and we'll get right back to you. Okay guys, so now I've got the keys, we got the battery plugged in. We're gonna see, so that's new. So say everything comes on. I'm not gonna crank it because we still don't have our pulleys, but everything works. It unlocks. Everything turns on like it should. And we also got our dome light back there, but we need a cover for it. So that's something I gotta clean up. But there we go, guys. Brand new lock cylinder in the 94 S10. We're gonna make another video here once I get the pulleys on. Or what we could do is just, I'm gonna make a run to town this afternoon. So actually I think that's what we'll do. We'll make a run to town, grab those pulleys, and we'll take this thing for a drive. So I'll see you then. So now, guys, I got run to town. Got a new set of pulleys here. You can see I got a brand new one there on the tensioner, and I got a brand new one down there on the idler. So we'll see if it fixes our squeaking problem. If it's still squeaking, then my guess is probably this really old AC compressor. That'd probably be what would cause it. But it was worth it because those bearings were absolutely junk. So as you can see, our dome lights are working. So that's kind of nice. We'll take our key here. So see, the alarm came on. That didn't used to do that with the old one. There we go. I still hear it squeak. Yeah, it's definitely that AC condenser. It's not happy. This is just puffing, it's not oil smoke, so that's good. We'll kick on the lights here. See if our lights got fixed. I don't see any kind of lights on the back here. I'm not certain if there's supposed to be a running light. Front lights are working. Man, that sounded horrible. That AC compressor. Let's see if our turn signals work. I don't see a... That's a kind of a slow turn signal. Looks like we have some back here. That's pretty dim though. I don't think that's gonna cut it. So it looks like we got something to figure out there. Everything gauge-wise is looking good. I'll close the hood, guys, and we'll take it for a spin. Alright, guys. Throw my seat buckle on here. Okay. Feels pretty good to me. So guys, I've just been out here. We came back from college. We were actually pretty sick at college. Not sick of college, but sick at college. So that took us a while to get well from that. But we made lots of friends. If any of you guys are watching from Liberty University, we love you guys. We miss y'all so much. So now we're going to be doing, I had actually some really bad sickness, so I won't be able to make it back to Liberty this next semester. So I'm gonna, I think, switch to Liberty Online. We'll see where that goes, but we're gonna have some projects coming up. TO30 is gonna be our next biggest project. That's gonna be fun. We're gonna be splitting the TO30 off in half. We gotta replace the clutch, put a brand new set of gauges on it. Alright guys, let's see if this sucker pulls. This is about half throttle. That felt nice and smooth, guys. Transmission's really feeling good on here. I rebuilt this one myself. This is the first automatic transmission I've rebuilt, and it feels really good. So, really happy with that. Yeah, just cruising along nicely. So, we're going to be selling this truck. If anybody wants it, give me a message. You can message me either at Green Hill Garage on Instagram, or you can message me at our business email on YouTube. I'm asking $4 grand for this. It's running really nicely. We still have more to do to it though, so we're going to be buffing out the paint, fixing that orange peel. It does have a fairly bad orange peel on it, so we're going to be buffing that out in the next video. But this thing drives like a dream. It gets about, I think, 26 miles per gallon. We're gonna fix that AC compressor. I have another AC compressor we'll replace that with. Yeah, good solid shift there. She pulls. She even broke loose a little bit there. That's pretty good out of a V6. So guys, thank you all for watching. We'll catch you all in the next video. We're gonna have some more videos coming out. Stay tuned for that. So y'all have a great day, and we'll see y'all next time.